4, 3, 2. All right, everybody, let's go ahead. We're going to continue what we learned the other day, but we're going to take it to a new level. What I need for you to do is kind of help remind me what we talked about so I can make sure that we're on the same page, okay? So we talked about the what the other day? Say it again. Yeah, we talked about systems, but overall we talked about the what? Say it again. Cashflow quadrant. Now let's break down the cashflow quadrant before we get into systems. Tell me, let's fill in these quadrants. What goes over here in the top quadrant? Say it again. Yes. What goes over in this? Say it again. S and yes. Very good. Good job. And the last one? All right. Good job. Now, what I want to do is I'm trying to break it down so we understand each side of the quadrant. So the E stand for what? Say it again. Employee. So I'm going to abbreviate today. The S stands for self-employed. And then the B, business owner. Okay, I'm going to abbreviate business owner. And then I is for the, say it loud. We didn't get to it, did we? Good. And there's a reason because I didn't want to jump to this before you understood how we can get to this part of the quadrant before we talk about these. Let's talk about the left side and the right side. Did I explain the left side? What people are mainly on the left side of the equation?
Broke people.
Broke. Now, I used to say poor, but I'm not going to say that because being broke and being poor means two different things. And the reason why they're broke is not because it's their fault or because they're lazy. It's because of how the system is set up. And not the system I talk about. I'm talking about like the economic system. The reason they're broke is this. There's a difference between being broke and being poor. Being broke is a temporary economic situation. It's temporary. Being poor is a disabling frame of mind, and you must vow never to be poor again. So you can be broke without being poor. You got me? I've been broke before, but I've never been poor. So I'm trying to get you in the mind frame of how to get from broke to the right side of the equation. Who dwells on the right side of the equation? Who's that? Say it loud, say it proud. The rich. All right, good job. Now, let's break this down. So an employee is somebody who has a what?
A job.
Has a J-O-B, a job. I said, what did I say that stands for? Just over broke. They give you just enough money, or you have just enough money to survive. A self-employed person is a person who owns a what? Who owns a job, right? Over here, a business owner is somebody who owns a what? Say it again. System. Yes. I'm going to come over here a little bit. SYSTEM. What does that stand for?
Save yourself time, energy, and money.
Very good. Save yourself time, energy, and money. This is where you really can build wealth. This is where you can start building, becoming rich. You can do it over here, but the reason why you can keep more of your money over here is because, I don't want to spoil it yet because I got to get to the I. It's because of how the economic system is set up. Okay? Let's get to the investor first. Investor. Okay. Investor. This is where it's not about having a job at all. This is where your money makes money. Well, I should say, well, let me go back. Well, let me keep it consistent. This is where you own assets. What's an asset? Has anybody ever heard of that word?
Yeah.
Where'd you hear it? Well, tell me what you think it is. Just throw it out there.
Maybe like a person who can, or people who is beneficial to
I like what you're saying.
goals. goals or something?
I like that. I like that. It is something that is beneficial to your goals. Yes. Let me break it down like this because I see where you're going. Because it is something important, right? Okay. An asset is something you own that brings you in money on a regular basis, especially when we're talking about finances. And since April is Financial Literacy Month, as those who are going to be business owners or want to be in a business or want to at least have some extra income, some passive income while you're working a job or something, I need to help you understand owning assets is crucial to building wealth. This is where the wealthy are living. You could still be over here. There's nothing wrong with having a job. Matter of fact, I have a job being a teacher, work for the school system, but also own the system and also own assets. So while I'm over here, I'm building this over here. Okay? Now let's move back a little bit. When it comes to the reason why they're broke, when it comes to the left side of the equation, it's because of this word here. What's that word?
Taxes.
Say it again.
Taxes.
Taxes. The reason they're broke on this side of the equation is because they get taxed more. And I'm going to tell you why. They can get taxed up to 40% of their income as an employee. You can get taxed up to 40% of your income by having a job. People who own a job or self-employed, that's like your doctors, lawyers, your dentists, your hairdressers, your barbers, all that stuff. Those who own a job, they can get taxed up to 60% of their pay, of their income. Now on this side, when it comes to taxes, a business owner can get taxed up to, not always, but up to 20% of what they make. An investor, they can get really zero. I'll say 0 to 10%, but really zero. Up to. Mr. Merle, how is that fair? How in the world, because my parents work all these hours every week, and you got these rich folk over here, they already got money, how come they don't get taxed? That's not fair. Does anybody know why? Or have an idea why this side on the right side gets taxed less than the side on the left? I'm glad you're saying nothing. That means you're going to hear the answer. This side, when you own a system, when you have a business, you have employees, you might provide them benefits, you're adding to the economy. Sometimes you might own real estate. I mean, you build houses, giving people homes. As an investor, you're investing in the economic system, in the stock market. You're buying things that's going to help boost the economy of the country. So what the government is saying is, I'm going to help you, since you're putting in your own money or investing, you're risking everything on our economy, we're going to give you some tax breaks. So anybody ever heard of the IRS? So the IRS gives you tax breaks on that particular side of the quadrant because you're investing in the economy. And we get this side here. On the left side, you're just working for yourself. You're working as an employee, or you're working as a self-employed or person. So the government says, well, you're not really investing in the country. Yes, we know you're working. Yes, we know that you're doing a business. But really, are you taking a risk in the country? Or are you just risking things for yourself? So we're going to get some more money out of you because you're working for yourself. These people here, they make more money, true. But if you look at it percentage-wise, let's say you're a millionaire, 20% of $1 million getting taxed, 20% of $1 million is still more than 40% of $100,000. If you make $100,000 a year versus making $1 million a year, they're still getting taxed more. It's all proportional. So do y'all understand why this side is broke so much? It's because they're getting what more? They're getting taxed more. That's why. So that's why I'm trying to get you to move from here over to here. But if you decide to stay over here, you need to learn as many as the tax laws as possible to benefit you. Get a CPA, get a bookkeeper, get somebody that's going to help you understand how you can save money on paying taxes. Because over here, when you're over here, they give you all types of tax benefits. There's a business deductions, tax credits, all types of things that where you can save money on taxes. That's why they say up to 20%. Any questions or comments so far? Good. All right, we're about to leave to the part 2. We're good.